Hello. So I've never done this before. I have no clue if I'm really doing this right, but I think it's time for me to do this now. Um, I've been dealing with a CPS case since 2018 because they tried to say that I had domestic violence because my daughter told somebody at her school when they asked her a question and told her that she told them that all she wanted her mom to do was stop crying and be happy instead of knowing what was really going on in the house, which I was getting kicked out from racism. I can't disclose anything else about that case. Um, where I was living in a motel for 2 years because the only family I have is my mom and no one else. And then we went to court the second time, and I had let them know that I have anxiety and I was diagnosed with bipolar. So because they had no hardcore evidence on domestic violence, they went straight for my mental health. Now, 2016 and in 2017, I was seeing a therapist and I was on medication. In 2017, I found out I was pregnant, so I stopped taking the medication. In 2019, as my kids were already in foster care, I found out I was pregnant again and I had to stop taking the medication I was on. So when he was born, they took him straight out of the hospital. I was halfway through done with my classes. I've done my classes 22 times. I've done therapy 31 times. I did the Perry program, which is a 6-month program. I smoked marijuana, but I got clean. And then when they took my kids, I ended up smoking again because it was my stress reliever for my bipolar and my anxiety to stop my panic attacks. Now, ever since then, I have received the help. I have gotten every certificate that I needed. I have done everything they asked me to do, plus more. I've seen therapists 4 times plus on my own. I still watch anger management classes to help me because I do know I do need help still in my anger. But I know I've gotten a lot better. I have never hit my kids. I have never abused my children. My oldest is 9 years old, and I've never had a CPS case. I've been dealing with this for 2.5 years. And every time I come close to getting them back, they use something else. Now, recently, last year, July 19th, I had unsupervised visits where I asked my worker if I could take them to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. She told me that was fine. I asked her if I could do it in Victorville. She told me no, because I had to work with the caregivers on how far. My son is in Orange County, my daughter is in Fontana, and my other 3 children were in San Bernardino. Now they're up here in Victorville. Now, because of that, I was okay with it. So because of the coronavirus, everything got shut down, where I had to look for somewhere to go to take my kids that day, which was a Chuck E. Cheese off of Hospitality Lane in San Bernardino. Was the only Chuck E. Cheese open. Now, my baby daddy knows I go there because we used to take the kids there before this happened. So when I went to there, he was not there. His other children were there, but I did not see him nowhere in sight. Then I see my son run somewhere, so I had to figure out where my son went. And then I see him jumping, yelling, "Daddy, daddy, daddy." I told their dad he could not be there at the visits because I had unsupervised visits, and his visits are not unsupervised. He has not done anything the court has asked him to. So he could not be at my visits. So he told me, okay, my son wanted to take a picture with his father. I said that was fine because I was not going to say no to my son. I am not that type of mother. I am not that type of person to keep their child or anybody away from anybody that's not even doing nothing wrong. Now, because of that, I went to court today. And they basically filed for an adoption. because of the fact that my baby daddy was at Chuck E. Cheese, which is the first offense of ever having a case. And because I was honest about my bipolar and anxiety, knowing I was getting help for it, I got my kids taken. For being real with the law, I got my kids taken. As much as classes I've done, as much as I fought and keep being strong and holding it all in and doing it all by myself, I don't know what else to do. I am exhausted. I just had surgery in June because my hernia, from my umbilical hernia, my doctor said it got worse because of the stress level. I've been having really bad abdominal pain. So I'm going to have another procedure. Hopefully I don't, but I have to go to a specialist now. And they're saying it's all from stress. Now, I've tried my hardest to not stress. I've tried my hardest to keep preoccupied, where I am taking classes on business for the county building. I was at the time working because I had my surgery. I could not. But I don't know what else to do. The attorney they gave me, he's trying his hardest, but because he is fighting his own battles with real life, with health issues, and because the judge barely understands him and he repeats himself constantly, the judge gets mad easily. They're saying because I said no, my baby daddy was not in danger of my children, they default from saying first it was housing, now it's because my baby daddy was at Chuck E. Cheese. It was a public place. I did not know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there. He has other children and he has custody of those children as well. I am tired. I am exhausted. I have been a mother since I was 18 years old. I have never been without my kids besides the last 2 years. My kids have been the only thing that have been keeping me going, literally. Because before this, I was a troubled kid. I was a foster child. And what happened to me in foster care, I don't want to happen to my kids. And how foster care has been since when I was in foster care, it's gotten worse. They have not helped anybody. The judge told them 3 times. The 3rd time that we had court, the judge told the social worker to work with me, to have communication with me because I have a learning disability. And the worker still has not done nothing. And the CPS office on East Street in San Bernardino, every time I ask to speak to a supervisor, I get pushed off the shoulder like I'm nothing. Every time I tell them, I put a report in saying she is not communicating with me. She is not talking with me. She is not helping me. She's not doing nothing for me. They look the other way. I've had multiple people try to testify me. My therapist tried to testify me. When I tried to go back to my old therapist, she told me I could not go back to him. I asked her why. She said, because I don't feel like he's helping you. But he was the only one that was helping me. He's the one that helped me do my coping skills. And then also my substance abuse teacher, because I smoked marijuana. So yes, I had to do a drug test, a drug class, and a drug test. I've been coming clean for the last 1.5 years. I've been clean off of marijuana. I've never touched any other type of drug. I am at the point where I'm lost. My heart, my chest, my head, everything hurts. I don't know what to do no more. And I see people all the time on Facebook just about bullying, other stuff, doing stuff. So I'm hoping, I don't know what I'm hoping, but I'm hoping somebody sees this and it gets around. I need this to get around because San Bernardino has done me dirty for the last 2.5 years. And now they're trying to make me lose my kids because of one incident that wasn't even my fault. That my baby daddy showed up at Chuck E. Cheese. First it was I just needed to get housing. Now it's my baby daddy because he didn't do his classes. I'm not him. I don't talk to him. I don't do nothing with him. I left him because I want my kids. I need help. I don't know. I don't have the money. Every money I've been saving has been for my kids to come home for a place. It's been so hard to get a place because of the place that I used to stay. I put in a judgment on my record because I didn't move out in the time Natalie they wanted me to. But I paid the rent that following week and then left on August 13th of 2018. I have no idea what else to do. I went to the housing authority. I'm on the list. I did get approved for housing for a 4-bedroom at under 2,200 and out here in the high desert. But because of this economy is so messed up and so bad, it is so hard to get a place. It is so hard to get any type of help from anybody. And I know a lot of people that are going through this, and it's a struggle. I just lost my grandma last year. My grandma wasn't even able to meet none of her grandbabies. I barely met my grandma at 24 years old. I am 28. My kids have been there since day one with me. They kept me fighting, keeping me strong, keeping me motivated. My daughter got me into God, and I didn't believe in God. I've never believed in God. My daughter got me where I'm praying. I'm begging Him. And I just don't know how much I can do because nothing's happening. It's all nothing.